Howdy fellow model railroaders, my name is Kevin Brown and I want to thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. This episode is going to be mostly focused on work on the P&N Junction module. I've been wanting to get to that for a long time, and finally I've had some time to think about it and then work out some details and get a good start on it. So that's going to be the main focus of the video. There'll be later on, I'd also a short surprise, show you some footage from an operating session I attended. And so yeah, that's kind of where we're going to go. First and foremost, I want to show you what new things I've found for the layout. Okay, like I said, I've been trying to focus on updating some rolling stock on the layout, but getting it more in tune with the mid-60s theme. First thing I got up there, I finally got a Rock Island caboose to go with that lovely Rock Island switcher. It's a wooden caboose, probably a little too late for this period, but I figured the transfer job wouldn't exactly get the pick of the litter of cabooses. This column on the left are brand new boxcars I've been picking up slowly but surely, trying to focus kind of on Midwestern railroads plus the ancestors of the Burlington Northern, because the CB&Q ran quite a lot of their stuff throughout. And this is earlier stuff I'd had. I went through an Illinois terminal phase and bought a bunch of stuff there, and a nice Northwestern boxcar and a GM&O coal hopper. My goal, I think I have to need 14 cars to replace a group of modern cars that are on the layout. So I've got a good start on that. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. So next we'll go to progress on the layout. And now on to the P&N Junction module. My work at ISU during the summertime, I have to go in an hour earlier. We get off an hour earlier too. But I've always found that early morning time is my best time to get things done on any hobby projects, actually. And I was really trying to work through getting stuff done this summer, but it just didn't happen. Well, we just switched over to fall work. I now have an extra hour in the morning to work on stuff I want to, and I really wanted to get to the P&N Junction module, so that's where I started. So take a look here and see how much work I've gotten done. Well, the time has come to work on the P&N Junction module. I have several things I have to take care of, first of which is I want to move this crossing closer to here. The runaround back here, the other end of it, is pretty short here. So if I move it, I can get another car in, do a better run, easier to do a bigger runaround. So that's part of the deal. And I've also want to install these nice signals. The idea is to have them have a switch here to turn them to give priority one side or the other. And there needs to be a road put here, and this nice switch tower has to be glued down, and I want to get basic scenery on all this. So this is the next project. Okay, here's the module with the signals all in place, at least not wired in yet. That's where the road's going to go, and here's the switch down here to control it all. I like the placement of that, and that's going to be visually quite interesting. Next thing I'm going to have to do is start pulling up some track and moving some stuff around. Here's my poor module with most of the track stripped off. I went ahead and used wood filler to basically, originally I was just going to try and cover this up because it's open where I hand cut the track so that I have something nice to paint. And I figured, well, what the heck, I can make up for some of my carpentry shortfalls on this module extension here, so I put a little more on that. So I got that all on. I also installed the ramps on the crossing. Had to do a little surgery on this one to make room for the signal that's going to sit there. Originally I was thinking about raising the road up to the level of the track, but that would have been quite a lot of work, and well, I'll be consistent with my layout. I've been using these ramps that I don't even know if Kato makes anymore, but I had a few old ones left over, and they worked with the new crossings. Also, I did have to move my feeders. This is where the feeders used to go. Now there's going to be that crossover here, which has no room underneath it for wiring. So I cut two new holes in here. See here, those are the feeders for the module. And so now that it's time to get a little touch-up painting done and put the track back on. Made a quick trip upstairs while my paints are to do a little touch-up. First on this crossover, these are designed for the double track concrete tie, and they kind of stood out to me. So I went ahead and painted those all black with just a tiny brush, and I got a little happy with some IPA and washed some of the black off the tie, so I fixed that up while I was up here. And also painted all the signals, kind of a dull silver, except for the face. So they're all ready to install. Voila, here's all the track back installed. Went on pretty easily. I probably already mentioned this, but this is a very handy trick for making sure that your tracks are properly spaced. That's just a double track section of Kato track. It's only 62 millimeter, but I use it as a spacer. So I hook everything onto that, and then I can go ahead and drill and put track spikes in. So that's just a handy little trick. So this is coming along very nicely. Next step is going to be putting the signals in and getting them to work. That ought to be interesting. Well, I've run into a little bit of a problem. The wires on these signals are extremely small. I don't even have a setting on my wire stripper to go down this small. And I just don't think they're going to be compatible with the usual terminal strips that I use. They're designed to be screwed down, so I ordered some terminal strips with, I think they're called lugs on them, that are designed for soldering. I think I'm going to have to solder all this together. So I've got to wait for that to come, and I also decided, I came to an idea, had an idea, what I'd like to do with this area back here. Originally it was just going to be, just ground foam, but I've got an idea, which I'll reveal when it comes in, but I ordered some parts for that. So this is going to slow this down quite a bit, but I still can go ahead and do the ballasting between the tracks. And I think I'm going to go ahead and start working on those two quarter modules with the low profile scenery. Work on those until my parts come in. So stay tuned. Okay, all ready to start ballasting. Here's obviously the module I'm working on, plus the corners. Now, I just ballast between the main lines. That's all I do on this. I know you can do more and blend the Kato track in better, but I find this most adequate. And first step I do is paint between the rails, between the main lines, with gray craft paint. This stuff, in fact. And I also, I don't know if you can see or not, paint the tops of the nails that I used to put the track down that same gray color, and they kind of disappear. If you can compare that to here, how the nails stand out. So that's what I got to do. A little paint first, and then glue the ballast down. Now I like having the ballast done before any of the ground foaming, and not only done but well dried, so that it doesn't spread all over the place when I'm trying to put the green ground foam down. So here we go. Here we are. I painted the gray between the rails, and I do that because, like I said, these modules do get banged around a lot, and if the ballast gets a little thin in places, at least it's going to be the right color. And I've also painted all the nails the same color, and they do kind of disappear. Now there's one other step I want to do, and I'll try and zoom in and see if I can demonstrate this. The Unitrack joiners are a universal gray color. Let's see if I can zoom in like that. Sorry about that. And they kind of stand out. Now what I would do, as you can see with this one, I've already done with 1.5, is I paint some black paint on there to correspond with the ties. And in my mind, that really helps those disappear in much the same way as painting the nails. And obviously this one,
This side, big old fingers, this side hasn't been done yet, that side has. It doesn't take much time. It's just a little brush and a little bit of flat back paint. So I'll finish those up, and then it's time to put some ballast down. Okay, here are all the tools ready for doing some ballasting. I use the Kato ballast, which is designed to match the Kato Unitrack, and it does a pretty good job. I just use Woodland Scenic Cement. I'm still kind of old-fashioned. I use the eyedropper method. Here's a nice brush to spread stuff out. I also put a little bit of masking tape down there because invariably the Scenic Cement kind of runs down. This way I can kind of clean that off easily. So now it's just a matter of spreading stuff out, putting some tunes on, and putting some ballast down. Here it is all spread out. Actually, I found out using my finger was just about as easy as anything. And I put a little something down to catch the part that got overflow. Now it's just a matter of eyedropping on the Scenic Cement and hopefully not mess everything up. Here's the Scenic Cement all applied. I always just give it a good dousing. One of the reasons I like the Scenic Cement is it already has a wetting agent, so it penetrates very nicely. I give it a really good coat, try not to, smear everything around. And so far it doesn't look like it's leaked too much over the end. So this is so much easier than ballasting most track. There's a reason I love Kato Unitrack, there really is. So all I got to do is do this throughout the other two modules and finish this one up. And that'll be the end of the ballasting. Okay, here we are. All the ballasting is glued down. Now, ballast is glued down, including on the two corner modules I wanted to work on. I've removed, let me get over here without making everybody sick, removed the masking tape and cleaned up any dribbling of the Scenic Cement. So yeah, that's kind of this part of the project done. Now, unfortunately, I'm waiting for other parts to complete the P&N Junction module, so I'm probably this is probably all the progress I'm going to be able to get into this video.
I really hated to stop work on the P&N Junction modules. I think it'll be worth the wait. There's some interesting scenic things I can do now. I will be able to do once everything shows up, and it's something for the next video. I look forward to working on all of that. Now for the, I had a chance to go to Alan Sat Camp, and he's an operating guru and just an amazing guy. And he ran his first operating session since all this crud started. And I was fortunate enough to be there. I managed to take a little bit of footage just to show you how much he's altered his layout. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy. There's a couple of issues. I think it was spraying belt coat with not on and painting the couplers. Maybe it's the belt coat, but they just run on the couple. So they're glued together. Taking there, one out of the As you can see, Alan's HO layout is just amazing, and he probably runs an operating session better than anybody I've ever been with. He also has this habit of refreshing his layout periodically, and his goal is not to change the mainline one, I think 25%, but model a completely different railroad in the same space, switching over buildings and rolling stock and locomotives, the whole thing. He was just starting to refresh his layout when the pandemic hit, and obviously he had a lot more time, just like all of us did, and the work he's done is amazing. I'm hoping to get a chance to do a full layout update on his layout for my channel here. We've been talked about it briefly. I know we're both pretty busy right now, but that's something I think very much worth looking forward to. He just does an amazing job. So that's kind of hopefully up and coming. Now this is the time where I usually start talking about my group, the N scale of Bloomington Normal, and what's going on. We had a layout. We were going to take a small layout to a swap meet in Mattoon in this month of August, and that got canceled, unfortunately. No reason given, but I think we can all kind of figure out what that reason is. So that's unfortunate, but we did manage to make some inroads and contacts with the people that run it. Hopefully next year we can put up a full-size layout and be kind of a draw for them, and maybe just attract some new members to our group. So we'll see what's going on. So not all bad. The next thing we do have going on is in September, the Fremo group, HO group, is going to set up in McLean again, and they've allowed us to set up. We're going to do N-track this time only up on the stage area, so that ought to be kind of interesting. We're hoping to get some people from the N-track group up in the Joliet area. We'll see what happens. If not, it should be a good time, and it's not necessary. Oh, this time I guess it is open to the public. So as we get closer, I'll get more information out. So really, that's about all I've got going on right now. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please hit like and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.